Okay, Chief, first of all, your name?
Byron Lyons.
Tell me what you've got out here. Basically tell me how this whole thing came about and where you're at now.
Okay, we received a call on Saturday afternoon from a landowner who was leasing some property for a deer lease. He called the sheriff's office and advised that he had found what he believed to be some marijuana cigarettes. Sent our deputies out, the narcotics officers investigated and did find a large grow of marijuana. We started our investigation on Saturday, and then this morning we brought in, there's probably about 12 different law enforcement agencies from federal to state to local law enforcement agencies out here, around 70 officers. We started cultivating and the marijuana plants that was found. To count right now, somewhere around 44,000 plants that we've already recovered. We've just located probably about an hour ago another 10 fields. So we're still in the process, so we're trying to get all the marijuana recovered.
So this easily hit 100,000.
Very close.
Okay. What about the suspects? You've got one in custody now?
We've got one subject in custody. We still have the TDC tracking dogs out, and they're trying to locate another subject who was running as well.
Any water source they use in the river there, or what are they using for
water sources that we found was going to be along what we call the Lone King Creek Creek. The subjects was pumping water out of the creek to water their marijuana plants.
How elaborate was it? I mean, pumps and hoses, or was it like a watering system, or actually were they having to come out watering?
They actually had a pretty elaborate system. They had pumps that were set inside the creek banks, and the hosing system that ran back to the fields, to where they just turned the pumps on. The pumps would run through the hoses, and then subsequently through the fields, through the PVC pipe that they had set up for doing their watering. I mean, it's an elaborate setup.
Took a while for them to set this up, probably.
Took a while to set it up.
How desolate is it back where they were at? I mean, is it someone's land or several people's land, or?
It's going to be somewhat. It's going to be several different pieces of property, lease property for cattle, lease property for hunting, but all in all, it's going to be property that a lot of times it's close to the creek banks, it's overgrown. They'll go inside the overgrown area and they'll clean out a spot inside of it to where unless you actually are right inside the plant area, you won't even know it, that they're there. And that's kind of how they elude from law enforcement. They elude from even the landowners.
Just mainly fields or woods or what?
A lot of woods.
Okay.
A lot of wooded areas, because they want to take and they want to go into the wooded areas, clear that out in the center part to where it looks just normal from when you're looking from a field or from the roadway to the owner. But until you walk up to it and actually go into the wooded area, a lot of times you won't even see their setup.
How long does it take to set something like this up?
This setup we have here, and it's a large grow. It months. I mean, but you look at months of setting it up, planting and growth. So I mean, they've been here a little bit.
And getting it harvested is another thing. Getting it out of the area.
That's going to be that's the next thing. Is you know, when they do the harvesting and then getting all the product out of the fields, you know, to the streets.
How close to harvest time is it for this marijuana right now?
The plants that we found so far today, they're still probably a month away, maybe maybe a month and a half. They were going to be some young plants.
What kind of dollar value? Any ideas?
I hadn't just sit down and put pen to paper, but again, when we're looking at young plants, the street value is not as much as when you look at a mature plant that has buds that are ready to be picked and cut. So you know, these plants still had, you know, some months, you know, to mature to where they would be able to get the full street value.
All right, appreciate it.
Hey man, we called. Okay. Okay, sounds good.
far. Let's see. Hey. There you go. Jeez. Budded yet.
No buds on them yet?
No buds on it.
Okay.
Now, a few of them do. Some of them do. But
Yeah.
for the most part,